Hi guys, welcome back to Make That Sea Change. My name's Paul. Today we're going to talk to you about 10 affiliate marketing areas to avoid. Now we've been speaking a lot on some of my other previous posts and in my videos about the things to do for affiliate marketing, how to find niches, how to find affiliate marketing programs, how to start and write blog posts, etc. Now and this sort of come around this post as something I noticed in myself that I'd done in one of my sites the other day, and I'll get to that as we go through the video. But it occurred to me, and listening to other people in this industry as well, about these are errors that can happen at the start when you're first starting out in affiliate marketing, but they can also happen as you get moving. So you'll have your site going for maybe a month or 2 months or 3 months or a year or 2 years, and then all of a sudden these little errors start to creep in. So I just wanted to highlight them again, not as a negative thing, but just something that you can look at and keep a track on as you go through your affiliate marketing journey. So let's start with the first one, and this is one that starts to creep into people after a couple of months. And it's impatience. Impatience, or not being patient, obviously, is a big thing that starts with new affiliate marketers. And the reason that I've highlighted this one is because I see it a lot in some of the forums that I'm in for affiliate marketing, and online business creation and the like, in that you get your site set up, you start to get it ranking, you start to really get some traction with it, but you still don't make any sales. You haven't actually had your site long enough to start to generate those sales. So a lot of people look at that and they go a little bit nervous with it, and they get a little bit anxious, and they get a little bit upset and cranky and all those words. We go through all those emotions, and they give up. Oh, it's not working, I'm just going to go back and do something else. It's not working. And that is one of the biggest errors people make. I mean, obviously, and I've said this a lot, you need to keep working at your site. You need to make sure that you're constantly putting content onto your website. It needs to be valid, it needs to have quality, and we'll go through a lot of these actually in this video as well. But as you start to build that traction, that's the time when you really need to keep going. If you're not making sales after a little bit of amount of time, just keep going. I promise you, in time they start to build traction. And I'll talk about some other things later on about getting help and the like that helps you with this. But yeah, stay patient. It's the key to everything. It's not a short-term prospect. It's not a get-rich-quick program, which we all know. It's about building a long-term sustainable income and sustainable business. So you don't open a shoe shop and expect and make money almost immediately. You've got to work at it and pay off your stock and do all that sort of thing. With an affiliate marketing site, you don't have to pay anything off, but you've still got to do that work to build it up. So keep patient. And following on from that is something that again tends to happen after a few months, is starting more than one website before the first one's ready. So a lot of times you'll be 2 or 3 months into a website. I nearly fell for this myself. I had my first website, it was up and running. It wasn't making money yet, and I was getting a little bit impatient with it. And I was reading about people who were making good money doing a different type of website. And I suddenly thought to myself, I might do that. And then, push came to shove, and I suddenly realised that I just don't have the time. I mean, those of you who've got new websites or have got websites at all, you'll understand how much time they take. So trying to split that between two, you're diluting your effort, you're diluting your capability, and it really will slow you down on both sides, and you won't provide the same quality and the same requirements that you want for your website. So my rule of thumb with this is that if your website is making enough money that you can outsource some of the critical aspects of it. So if you can outsource the writing, or you can outsource the social media, or you can outsource some of your other research, or just the day-to-day maintenance of tweaking a website. If you can outsource any of that, then start a second website. And obviously you're outsourcing it based on the fact your first site is making enough money to cover the cost of that. So common error, starting with more than one website when your first one is not mature enough to be able to handle that. So be careful with that. Next one, this is an interesting one that a lot of people make, and I actually made this myself with my first website, and it's joining too many affiliate programs. Now we start our affiliate marketing websites, we want to make money, so we start getting in links. And the problem you have with affiliate marketing programs, and especially some of the bigger ones, I'm talking about the affiliate marketing conglomeration sites like CJ Affiliate and Arwen and Share a Sale and the like. A lot of the programs within those big over encompassing setups have target limitations or traffic limitations on them. So if your website's only attracting 10 members, 10 views a month, which new website, that's actually good for a brand new website, they'll bounce you or they'll reject you. So what happens is we tend to get carried away with that and try and join every single website, every single affiliate program we can find, which means we're joining programs that aren't necessarily the right quality, and we're joining programs that aren't even necessarily right on our niche. And we load all these affiliate links up, we lose track of them, so we don't even know where we're getting our links to. We can't track which ones are working, which ones aren't. We've got poor quality product on there, which will damage your brand. We have programs on there that don't pay commissions because they're on very small companies, and if the companies don't have the cash flow, they won't pay you a commission. So you might not get commissions, or you might get very low commissions. You might have very poor tiered commissions. Now, all these sort of things are things that you fall into if you try and join every affiliate program you can, or every affiliate program that accepts you. So don't join too many. Find good quality programs, ones that pay good commissions, ones that definitely pay you the commissions when they're supposed to, have quality products. So look for things like testimonials and look for feedback on those products. If you go into Amazon, for example, and find the products or find their website, just see what the clientele is saying. People who've bought those products, see what they're saying. If they're good products, put them on your site, do the affiliate marketing, build up your site, and you'll go from there. Okay, number 4, selling and not solving. Any of you who've read any of my posts or listened to any of my videos will probably be sick to death of me telling you must be solving a problem. If you're not solving a problem, you're not going to get people to stick to your site. If people don't stick to your site, they're not there long enough. The search engines like Google and Bing, they watch how long people are on your site. So if people aren't on your site very long, they're going to say, well, that site's obviously not being very helpful. So it drops it in the rankings. It's a big factor in rankings. So my rule of thumb is that if you write a post, and you can use the post that is linked to this video as an example if you like. If you read the post, my 10 affiliate marketing errors to avoid, you should be able to read through that post and not click on any of the affiliate links that I've got in there and still get something out of that post. If you find you can't, please comment below. But I'm pretty confident that you can read through my 10 sections there. You go to table of contents, you can look through them, you can read through them. You go, okay, yep, I need to look into that. I'll keep an eye on that. Doesn't matter where you're building your website. If you're not building it through a wealthy affiliate, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're building your website. It doesn't matter where it's hosted. It doesn't matter what niche it is. It doesn't matter what affiliate links I have on my site. You can get that information without having to purchase. And that to me means that I'm providing quality on my site. It means I'm providing answers. So if you're not getting that information seriously, or you're not giving that information, you're going to struggle, if I'm being honest. Now, what I mean by that is I actually saw a site the other day, and it was about running shoes. And it had running shoes, Nike, I don't know, Pegasus or whatever, $295, good shoe, click here to buy. Reebok, blah, whatever, $300, click here to buy. And all it had was, this one gets my 5 ticks, click here to buy. It didn't explain to me why the shoes were any good. It didn't explain to me what I could use them for if I run on roads, if I run on, if I'm running on dirt tracks or on the beach or anything like that. It didn't give me any of that information. So I jumped off it pretty quick because I'm looking for a running shoe that I can use running and walking on hard surfaces that are going to cushion my feet, protect my ankles, and not have me with sore feet for the next 3 months after I've used them. That site didn't cover that. I went to another site which gave me all that information. And at the bottom of every section, it had a link to the shoes. I actually didn't buy any of those shoes purely for the fact that the site was British, and the shoes that he linked, that the writer linked to, wouldn't ship to Australia. So, I mean, it's probably something he needs to take into account, but that's through no fault of his. But I did get a good lot of information off that site. He was providing information, he was solving my problem without selling to me. I would have bought from him if I lived in the UK, and that's where your end game comes from. People will buy from you if you can provide that information. So don't just go straight for the sale. It sticks out like the proverbial, and you'll lose customers and you'll lose visitors. Okay, number 5. What's number 5? Not enough checking. Now, what I mean by this is if you write a post, spell check it again, spell check it again. Something about some of the website editing programs, Wealthy Affiliate does it, the WordPress editor does it, Wix does it. You run a spell check and it doesn't get it all the first time. You sort of have to do it again. I don't understand why that is, but you have to do it and do it. If you notice a lot of spam emails and websites, you will notice that a lot of those sites have poor spelling, that they have poor grammar. So it's not a good look, and it is actually a red flag to search engines in particular and to visitors. I read through my old posts all the time and still come up with fine typos in there. I read them, you do a spell check, you read it, you do a spell check, you do another spell check, it says it's all good, you publish it, and I guarantee you 3 days later I'll be shooting a video or going back to clean up some internal links or something, and I look at it and think, oh my God, there's a spelling mistake on there. You go in and fix it. 1 or 2, some people won't like that, some people drop off straight away, but they happen. But if you've got a website that's littered with them, or you've got broken links, or you've got poor quality images that don't load properly, site speed's another one. Make sure that your site isn't too slow. There's lots of sites that can check your site speed. All those things, it's about doing those checks. And that's one of the things that we tend to slacken off with. You write your post, yep, I know what I'm doing. You put your videos in, you put your pictures in, publish it. All right, what's next? And you haven't taken the time to do all those checks. We'll talk about that with SEO later on as well. So make sure that you are checking, double checking, triple checking, getting that quality out there as much as you can, because some of you might be, if you're like me, drives you bananas if you walk past a cafe and they've got the menu sign out the front and there's a spelling mistake in their menu. I actually have a friend of mine who won't go into that restaurant if there's a spelling mistake on the menu board. So I'm not quite that fastidious with it, but having said that, it is something that turns people off. So always do your checking. Okay, number 6, drifting from your niche. This is definitely something that happens in time, and it happens it's almost the counteraction from solving and not selling. Sometimes you can spend so much time solving problems, and how you drift from a niche is you'll solve a problem, and you think, okay, from that problem I can solve that problem, then I can solve that problem, and then you end up solving problems over here that aren't within your original niche. I hope that makes sense to you. Let's explain it through weight loss. So say I've got a site that's about weight loss and for exercise. So I write all these posts about how this exercise is good for toning and losing weight in your backside and legs. This exercise is good for toning and losing weight on your belly. This exercise is good for raising your cardio, which is good for burning off fat as you work. Weights is good because it burns fat for a lot longer. So on and so on and so on. I might then go to a weight loss thing. Okay, if you're exercising and you want to have this recipe with it, so let's go keto, the keto diet. So if you're going to do lots of this sort of exercise, I reckon the keto diet will work well with that, because I actually don't know much about the keto diet, but it might be low carbs, it's high in fresh fruit and vegetables, so it's low GI, gives you good boost, it's got a bit of fruit in it, so it gives you the sugars and so on and so forth. So you'll match those, and that's very good for your niche. But then where you drift is you'll have your keto post, and then you'll start to put keto recipes in. Then you might think, okay, well, if you're doing keto, another good you might want someone who wants a high carb diet if they're doing if they're preparing for triathlons and, a lot of those long distance things where you need that slow release sugar. So they might go and start putting high carb diets in there and then high carb recipes. And before you know it, your website's drifted into a diet and recipe site and lost the exercise aspect of it, which is effectively a drift in your niche. You've hit it, you've started with an exercise niche, you're now doing recipes. It can be confusing. Very easy to solve, mind you. You just go up the menus and have exercise and diet, and that becomes a dual-pronged niche within your site. You can do that as long as they can be interlinked. Obviously, you're not going to have weight loss, exercise, and sport fishing. They're not even in the same ballpark, so you're not going to have them together. But but that's not what drifting is. Drifting is, as I said, where you slowly your niche sort of goes off without you even really realizing it. So just keep a track on that. Make sure your posts you're writing do stick to that niche. Make sure your videos do stick to that niche. If you find that you do want to add another niche and it's like a shoulder niche, so all under weight loss, you've got shoulder niche of exercise, you've got a shoulder niche of diet, you could maybe fit them into one site, but just be careful. And that's what drifting is. And that happens after a little bit of time. You tend not to do that in the first 3 to 6 months of your site. It tends to happen as you get further along. So keep an eye on that and watch what your posts are about. Next one is another one that happens in time, and I can actually talk to this one. It's about not writing naturally. Now, I tend to write as I speak, and if you hear me speak in a video, you might go to some of my posts and you can hear me. In one of my other sites, I've got an essential oil site, which is one of the first sites that I started with, and I write it from a skeptical point of view for men. Now, I won't put the link in here because I'm not trying to sell that, but that's what one of my sites is. And I wrote it from a skeptical and quite a humorous point of view. Okay, guys, if you want to use oils for a bath, it's all manly. If you want to feel manly, put this oil in and you'll feel manly and tough, and just a bit of humor behind it. But I also, and friends of mine were following that site and were saying to me, oh, geez, it's almost like listening to you speak. So I was writing naturally. I was writing the way that I speak, and it was a natural tone in the way I wrote. But then I had a couple of posts where I was trying to avoid over-exaggerating the use of oils. How some people get militant about oils and they, if you break your arm, you just throw some oil on it and it'll be fine type thing. And so I was trying to avoid that. So I was putting lots of research in there and referring back to research articles, and almost went back to my academic days, and I was almost getting to the point where I was citing the research I was doing, and the friends of mine were speaking to me saying, mate, your post isn't you anymore, you've gone straight. And I looked at the stats, and those pages had a lot less views than my original ones. So by not writing naturally, I was losing my visitors, I was losing traffic. So write naturally, write how you speak, your own personality will come out, your attractive character personality will come out. And also the other thing with writing naturally is, and I'll talk about it a little bit in ignoring SEO, but I'm not talking about it much in this post, which is your keywords. Now, obviously you need keywords in your post because you're trying to match what people search for. So if you want people to find beach fishing lures, you'll probably have beach fishing lures in your title. You'll have in your first paragraph. That's your keywords. That's matching what people search for. The big problem is if you try and put that wording all the way through your site, it then becomes unnatural. This site, for example, this post, for example, as I said at the very beginning, 10 affiliate marketing errors to avoid. I think I've said those keywords. Affiliate marketing errors to avoid is my keywords for this post. I think I've said them now 4 times. But if I had that in my post and I was writing that in every sentence and every paragraph, it becomes very hard to write that in a natural progression. It's not something that, and that's one of the tricks with keywords is trying to infiltrate your posts with them, make them sound natural, but also be in there for specific reasons so that people can find them. If you're going to put keywords in, make sure you're not just stuffing your post with keywords. It's got to be it's got to flow. So not writing naturally is one of the errors that people make. The next one's ignoring SEO. Now, search engine optimization, obviously, the more we rank, the more traffic we get to our site, the more people come and visit our post, hopefully they click on your links, hopefully they buy, and off they go. And there's a lot to SEO. Again, this isn't a post about SEO. I can, go back to my post. I've written a post on how to SEO your website. There's a lot more information in that. But if I'm talking about errors that people sort of drift into, where I'm talking about ignoring SEO is those little things that you need to do in every post you write. And again, it's in that other post that I've written. But things like putting keywords naturally in your header and naturally in your first paragraph and not trying to stuff your whole post with them. Using your meta tags and meta descriptions down the bottom and making sure that they're written in a way that are, again, natural, but have your keywords in. In most cases, that takes care of itself, because your title will go in your meta title description. When you do it, for those of you unfamiliar with meta description and meta title, when you do your search in Google and you search something, all your pages come up, the first hyperlink is your meta title. But there's other things you need to do, like putting your keywords in your image titles, in your image alt text, doing your spelling, because the spelling has a lot to do with the SEO. Making sure that you've got your tags, and if you're doing social media, doing your hashtags and all those sort of things, and you're linking to other pages within your own website, linking to authority pages outside your website. All those things are just the day-to-day SEO processes that you need to do in every post that you write. And that's where we slip. We just forget to do them. And so you'll write a post and you'll forget to do your internal links, which just breaks down, doesn't give the search engines the opportunity to see where your post fits into a website. That's what they like to see. That's what helps them rank. So all those things are quite critical in the whole run of search engine optimization. So make sure that you're doing all those little things in every post. I actually have a checklist. I can't spin the camera around and show you, but I've actually got a checklist over the wall over there that has them all on there. So when I do a post, I go, yep, I've done that, yep, done that, yep, done that. It's critical. Make sure that you do it. Next one, too much social media. Now, social media, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, hundreds of them. Making sure that you're using them, because obviously they're critical to help you promote. People may not do a website search, but they will flick through social media. They'll look for things in Pinterest. I read a stat the other day that people actually buy from 80% of Pinterest pins that they click on. So if that's something that suits you, go for it. But the big mistake a lot of us make is we try and use too much social media. I know with my Oreo site, I had a Facebook page, an Instagram page, I had Twitter, I had Pinterest, I had another one which escapes me right now. And I was trying to do them all, and I just couldn't keep up. And to be honest, I didn't know how to use some of them. I didn't really understand how to use Pinterest. I didn't understand how to use, I'd never used Twitter before, so I didn't know, and to be honest, still don't, about what a retweet does and how to work the characters and what sort of acronyms you can use on there that mean things to people in the Twitter world. So by me trying to use all those social media platforms, I was suffering with the ones that I should be using. So make sure that if you're going to use social media, which you should, make sure you're choosing only a few. Start with ones you know how to use. Fit your niche into that. Then, as you start to branch out, if you decide you want to use more, use the ones that match your niche the best. If you're writing a post on, if your niche is all about writing the news and politics and all that sort of stuff, you're probably not going to need an Instagram page of anything really. I can't think of a photo that you put on there unless you're doing lots of corporate buildings, which, let's face it, isn't really going to stop people on the old flick up, on their feed. You'll be using LinkedIn, you'll be using Twitter. If you are doing cosmetics or essential oils, works very well in Pinterest and Instagram. If you're using, if you're anything that's visual, anything for younger visual people that you want to build your brand, then you're going to use Instagram, you're going to use Pinterest. So choose the ones choose ones that match your niche, choose ones where your audience hangs out the most. So again, if your niche is centered at teenage girls between 15 and 19, you're not going to try and target them on LinkedIn, because they're not on LinkedIn. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook. So that's where you're going to go. And the last one, number 10, not getting help. Now, we mentioned earlier about impatience. If you're running a website and it's not getting traction as much as you think it can, don't sit there and keep trying different things and trying different things. Get help. Now, you don't have to pay for the help. You can get a lot of help online. As I said before, this poster on here, hopefully it's giving you help. You don't have to spend a cent to get onto this page. You don't have to click on the affiliate links. You don't have to buy anything, and you're getting help. Now, if you get something out of this that helps you bring your site back on track and think, oh no, I'm not doing my SEO every post, you then go back and find another post that helps you with SEO. It could be one of mine, it could be one of Neil Patel's, it could be any of those sort of people. You do that learning, you implement that in your site, bang, you're instantly ahead of the game. Always try and get help. I actually got a mentor recently to help me on my site, and I'll tell you what, it's pushed me forward in leaps and bounds. A lot of the stuff that I thought I knew, I just little tweaks. I mean, that cost me money, and it's an investment I choose to make on my business, but that's easy for me to say if my sites are making money. If your sites aren't making money, don't spend it. There's so much stuff online that you can do to get help. So if you're not seeking out training, if you're not getting help, there's lots of forums out there. There's entrepreneur forums on Facebook. There's some on Instagram. There's LinkedIn. There's Twitter. There's all those things. Wealthy Affiliate has a good internal question site which you can join for free, and you can use that for free. That is one of my links below, but you can use that for free. You can ask questions. Just ask questions and get that help, because one question can save you weeks and weeks of work, which cuts down your impatience, which gets you moving faster. So if you're not getting help, get help. And that's it. That's my 10 affiliate marketing errors to avoid. My keywords in 5 times, that's probably overkill. But yeah, so, and as I say, they're the errors that we make either as new affiliate marketers, or in time we sort of drift into the errors. Just keep an eye on them. They're not big things to worry about, but they are things that will either slow you down, maybe dip your rankings a little bit, maybe mean you miss out on a few sales, cause a little bit of confusion on your website. They're not the end of the world type errors. They're not going to shut your website down, and you're not going to be banned from Google and banned from Bing, and your website host isn't going to remove your site altogether and put a big red flashing light every time your name pops up. They're just minor errors that can happen with your site. Just keep an eye on them and you should be fine. Okay guys, thanks for that. Thanks for sticking around. And as usual, please click on subscribe below. Please click on the like. Comment below if you have any opinion. If you don't think the site's helping, if you think the site's helping, if there's any other errors you've made, please comment below and I would love to include them and discuss them. Thanks guys, have fun. Bye.